old, erratic, cursed, an anti-personnel mine in human form. Her friends called her Herschel, but for her controllers, she was Cascade.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
Portofino 91, the whole sick crew, a disaster untold, the black page in the official records.
The memory hums, an exposed wire.
Reports of how it went down remain contested, inconclusive. All that's certain, it began with a phone call and ended with 6 spies lost. Some say she blew the network herself. Others blame structural factors or transnational capital. The rest just shake their heads as they look down on the smashed and leaking world. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever, most thought. Even in those dark days, there were whispers among the lower sublevels, where they keep the true believers. Don't count Cascade out. 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. Cascade's controllers ordered her back to Portofino. Because I asked them to. There's a new assignment, Cascade. I was supposed to give you the brief. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Portofino. No one special. Just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics, one of the varieties of mankind. This is a dangerous place, Cascade. I should never have come. One that could really turn things around. For you, of course. Independent thought and movement are a bit beyond me in my current state.
This was the human game, and he played it poorly. Time to give up his seat.
Operant. I'm smashed and leaking. Whatever happens has already happened.
Splayed on the chair before you is a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you, unblinking. Alive, yet not alive. A pair of headphones have slipped partway off his head, connected to a stereo system beside him. No response, His eyes are still fixed glassily on the ceiling. The pupils quiver like a failing heartbeat. Cream paint, peeling slightly. A small room in a city past its prime. Nothing to suggest why the man is so interested in it. You get no response, no flinch, no twitch. As you stare down at him, the man begins to draw. Stiff-collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. Entirely unfit for purpose, based on his current state. Nature's final defense, playing dead. You leave him exactly as you found him. For the best, this husk could well be cursed. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers. No drug paraphernalia either. Just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Like a cosmonaut's safety tether. Your fingers detect a low, steady hum where jaw meets neck. Elevated, but not critical. No vomit, no discoloration on the skin, no bruising or signs of struggle either. If he was poisoned, then this was a professional zero out. The work of an invisible hand. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. There may be little opportunity for a second, based on the current visual. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant down. Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads Esteman T. Below that, a title, Imports Lead. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. Notably absent is an actual phone number. Into your pocket it goes. Not even a flicker of a response. The people's spy cannot be caught shirking. Time to escalate. This small table has been turned into a makeshift desk. A startlingly red folder stands out against the clutter. In the Operant Bureau's elaborate filing system, red is reserved for personnel files. A small label in the top left corner is printed with one word. Your cryptonym, Cascade. The colour reminds you of pomegranate. It screams danger, not for human consumption. Your hand hesitates. The folder opens with a whoosh. Before you, in neat monospace type, your life is condensed to its barest elements. Name Wilk Herschel, cryptonym Cascade. Born Landau, former Republic of Mercia. Dependents, none. Pay class D2. Years of service, 14. All true. None of it useful just now. There's another page behind this one. It's labelled Service History. A tingle in your fingers. Your head grows lighter as you approach the crash site. In just a few words, the worst failure of your life is reduced to bureaucratic shorthand. Previous assignment, Portofino 88 to 91. Network, whole sick crew. Operants, Cascade. Redacted. Assets, redacted, 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 redacted. A secret the opera has elected to keep from itself. Mistakes made, friends abandoned. The redactions are merciful. They keep our gang intact. Obvious. The opera wanted him to know what sort of spy he'd be working with. Most recent assignment, November 91 to present. Satellite Facility B. AKA the Freezer, where the old, useless and discredited are assigned to wander the climate-controlled hexagonal galleries until they're dismissed or die of despair. Or very occasionally, until fate recalls them to the opera's service. Now if only you can figure out why. The folder shuts itself with a tiny sigh. Whoa. The darkest secrets. You can't just leave them out like this. You crumple the pages up and set them on fire in the waste paper basket. As the flame consumes them, the pages curl like a black lotus flower closing itself. Amidst the crumpled sheets of copy paper and empty takeout containers, you find an open pack of cigarettes, Suprema mark. Smokes, ease of mind, cool. There's nothing outwardly noteworthy about this pack of Suprema 100s. It's like any other found in commissaries and corner stores across the People's Republics. Except secreted neatly against the inner wall of the pack, just as you were once taught to do yourself, a crisply folded sheet of A7 paper. Bijapwil, Vubsquux, Ongs, Sixfazil, Exquum, Yijizv, Digarak, Revux, Skilbuch, Jitterbarbecue, Wutsup, Sift, Hugtok, Huichk, Slaw, the Truck, Rilliam, Nacht, Skjuva, Fukatskoa, Terabit. The pack slides nicely into your pocket, as though it always belonged there. There's nothing left in there, neither smokes nor secrets. A pair of men's trousers are hung delicately over the shower rail. If pseudopod's pants were attempting to flee the scene, they did not make it very far. The front and back pockets are completely empty, except for a few pieces of lint. You discover a small extra pocket inside the front right pocket. You slip 2 fingers inside and come away with a neatly folded sheet of paper. Not normal paper. This is nitrocellulose, made to burn quickly and completely. The page is notebook-sized and perforated along one edge. It reads, THA space 7 LES APR space 032 space WIFO space 9W space TBGFLW25. The missing companion to the cipher you discovered in the cigarette packet. Totally meaningless, yet no meaning can be made without it. One that could be applied to the ciphertext you found in your personnel file. As you turn away, a stray thought passes. They may never be worn again. You return to the desk. Everything is right where you left it. Memories of operant training, hours spent practicing modular addition. These mental muscles, long atrophied, begin to awaken. All it requires is patience and diligence. Letter by letter, words emerge from the mist. They speak in a voice you haven't heard for a long time. Like a dream, the nitrocellulose dissolves into ash. Following the cord from the unconscious man's headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard. A Protype 0909 50-watt with multi-disc changer. Last generation model. Designed for affordability at the expense of power and clarity. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, Ultravioletta, you but from a dream, handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. The disc is loaded, ready to tell you. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The plastic latch clicks into place, and the discus begins to turn. You know because the spindle is rotating, though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. The kitchen light hums and splinters momentarily. No sound, save the thin layer of static that lines the inner cables. Amateur wire work. Or do you? You can't tell. The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers, seeing what will come with it. There is still no sound, but in your mind an image forms of a blasted heath, a smouldering circle at its centre. Figures in tattered robes stagger and sway on the horizon. Nothing. You're simply playing a disc on a common home stereo system, the sort of thing millions of people across the world do every day. A fallen star, an irregular rock of no colour the human eye can perceive. A dispatch from the underside of reality. The intermittent flash of a distant storm silhouettes a row of dark figures against the pale sky. Mendicants dedicated to the fallen star. Many bodies, one soul, their tattered rags soaked with universal tears. They weep with gratitude. They've been released from the prison of consciousness. One among their number turns to look at you, his technicolor robe billowing behind. He wears a small, neat mustache, as well as a large pair of headphones. A friend, an enemy. It is meant for anybody who will listen. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A great relief shivers through you, though nothing has seemingly happened. A brief internal hum, then the disc slides halfway out of the machine and waits there, like it's trying to hide from you. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. You step away from the equipment. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. Before you even finish speaking the word, the device connected to your phone base splits it into 256,000 encrypted fragments. The magic box, one of the proudest achievements of the Opera's Technical Services Office. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into a corresponding number of fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news.
The voice of your controller. It's your double she's expecting. Let's not disappoint her.
Operant Cascade, you made it. You're doing something to your voice. Enough fooling around. Put Pseudopod on the line.
This bit is solid gold. You can't quit now. You glance over at the man in the chair. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. You feel your mind starting to spin up. 5,000 revolutions per minute.
Cascade, put Pseudopod on. The real Pseudopod. Now. What do you mean? Why not? That's a very disturbing thing to say, Cascade.
For a moment, no one says anything. There's no sound at all, save for the blood in your ear and the electrostatic hum of the ultra-long-distance connection.
Has he been zeroed out?
Meaning eliminated, killed, rendered inoperant. The language of distance, a measure of cotton to muffle the fear.
I'll ask one more time. Is your double zeroed out?
You must speak the word. She cannot make the determination herself. Once you say it, there's no going back. The momentum of events will overtake you.
Cascade, is your double zeroed out or not? Yes, you do. Is he zeroed out, Operant? Right. I wonder which it is. Have our enemies blown us up already? Or is this just another day at the basement massage parlor of spy services? Fucking hell. The Opera's going to hang me by the toes. For you, it's back to Satellite Facility B.
The freezer. Shiver. Resist.
Listen to me. This assignment is over. Effective immediately. The woman in the Photoshop downstairs, Constance. She's one of ours. Let her deal with Pseudopod.
Middle-aged woman, dark hair behind the counter. You exchanged a few words when she gave you the key.
Do not tell her anything she doesn't need to know. As for you, we need to get you on the next aerotram out of the city.
That numberless phone line may be worth investigating. Perhaps the room contains other leads as well. They won't be expecting you back in the People's Republics for several days. Plenty of time for some self-directed espionage. You've been out of action for 5 years. The opera wouldn't rush sending you back in fear, unless... Half a moment's hesitation, then...
Where'd you get that idea?
Not a denial. Proceed.
A highly original thesis, also completely irrelevant now. There should still be flights departing for Superblock territory tonight. Make sure you're on one of them. It was no one, a ghost in the wire. The assignment's over. Get on the next tram. If what you're saying is true, enemies abound. Don't get yourself zeroed out.
A click, and the line goes dead. You return to your double's limp body. Breathing gently on his chair, he could be a sleeping child, but for the wide-open, lightless eyes. Your double has deserted the track before the starting gun. Will you stand for it? Pathetic. The man's breath gargles softly in his throat as you yank him upwards. He is... Like any good operant, he's keeping all cards pressed to chest. The man's head slips 2 centimeters to the left. His jaw slides with it.
Easy, lady. I just want to develop some photographs. I'm not trying to take your innocence. You have a wild imagination. A little photo should not count as a crime. It's not like it's a loaded gun or something. Don't step too close. They're handing out bans like they're going out of style. Very well. Photo 24 can have this round. Thank you for this extreme stress I'll now carry through my day.
I don't know whether that's intended to be reassuring. It's that little amber light. It means out of order, and I haven't been able to get it to green, meaning in order.
Just looking at that thing causes you to take psychic damage. Best stay away.
Pseudopod assured me this machine was a vital tool of communication, as precious to our work as the magic box we installed on your room phone. I'm telling you now, operant. That's what's happening here. You've received all sorts of technical training, I presume. I would think getting a little light to turn green should be well within your powers.
A dread beast humming with dormant power. A handless scribe. It just needs to be soothed.
Divorced. I don't presume to know the inner workings of the opera, but I have to think I could be better utilized. Of course, I'm happy with the tasks I've been assigned thus far. Keeping a safe house is a major responsibility, but I have other skills, you know. Chemistry, for one. I have an entire photo lab back here with access to all kinds of toxic chemicals and powders, and yet I doubt anyone would suspect a woman like me of, say, poisoning someone. If the assignment required it. I certainly don't. It looks rather flirtatious. Seedy business attracts itself. You might try one of the bars along Party Alley. much better, thank you.
Wrong. The sky is only 98% sky. The other 2% is used to cover up the fact that they replaced the moon 4 times. But they don't want you to know that. That's why they're coming for me. But not before I tell you the truth.
You hear laughter and music ahead. You can still make out the lower half of the words "Elk free" sticking out on the brick beneath. Sniff. Get the smells. Frying grease, rust, incense, the dank of canal water. It's all flat. Wrong. Something's missing. Like crickets going quiet under shadow. The old factory is mangy with past identities. An archaeological record of Portofear turf war. It has been many things over its lifetime. For now, it is a black market brimming with foreign imports. The silk factory was once the pride and lifeblood of Portofear. Whoever occupies it occupies the city's soul, even in ruins. You also have the red disc from the stereo system. You could seek out a media vendor to assess it. The fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. Someone has wedged it open with a ball. Wrong. Ball wants to play, not wedge. A hallway. It's just a fire exit. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Marked and remembered. No, it's a trap. Must be destroyed. You emerge into the dark insides of a deceased mechanical beast. The only light comes from above a set of steel stairs, which you alight carefully, gripping the cold railing. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. You open the door and climb the spotlit stairs once again. On the TV, a giant wolf-like creature stands up on its hind legs and howls. Its fur bristles gold. Dangerous, mythical, electrifying. No wonder the kids are watching this. Suddenly, the beast roars and light floods the screen. It's followed by a wet, pulpous sound. An acceptable mimicry of a skull liquefying under extreme thermal stress. LED lights are distributed evenly along the blade. Durable PVC hilt with textured grip. Impressive armament. The children ignore you, entranced by the television.
Off-brand drivers, cheap plastic housing. Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it. That's right. We are quite a ways from you buying something, my friend. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene! Every day, I come out here to share the joy of rare media with discerning customers. And instead, every day, they shove my face in the dog bowl of ignorance and banality. Evidently, you're another one. I'll prepare the bowl. Recent sales have been better than projected, unfortunately. The result? A daily procession of zombified replayers. Like you.
browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here, lamenting what's left of the culture. Culture? Portopheron? Scraps. This new Lucian mania is all-consuming. Nobody wants anything that isn't techno-fascist trash, including, apparently, their own souls.
The Luz, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state. The rising military and cultural power of the day.
Provincial, but honest. Silk, sad national poetry. Music, the same kinds they play in the so-called developed world, except a couple decades late and desperately effortful.
Incapable of competing with Lusian media on the most basic neurological level.
Yes, exactly. Nice. That's why I'll be here, enjoying the front row seat to the downfall of culture. That is my punishment. Taste. That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from. Good for you. Interminable. Every day there's new formats, categories, each one more depraved than the last. Of course, I can't say that out loud. Customer, you know?
He says it to everyone.
Strange how? Format or content?
He takes the disc warily.
An Einzelton XR. Where did you get this? Einzelton hasn't been available to consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is worth thousands of sol to people who appreciate its wonders. The apex of auditory technology. A high-fidelity yet dynamic sonic experience that self-effaces after a single play. A magnet embedded in the disc erases its contents as it's being listened to. As in life, everything happens only once. Replayability is oblivion, the end. You played it? Filthy animals. Those. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this, to save them from this humiliation from being passed around like...
A light switch flips off in his eyes. He handles it as reverently as if it were a tiny plastic coffin.
I'm sorry. UV can only be ultraviolet. Degenerate Lucian electrodrosser. There's a new fabricated star every day, it seems. But she's the top of today's pile. Do I look like I'm 14 years old and brain dead? The fact that it's committed to Einzelton suggested some kind of promo copy, some new advancement of degeneracy from across the Nos Correntes. This ultraviolet has gone missing at the moment. Kidnapped by counter-fascist radicals, whatever that means. Lucian marketing plot, if you ask me. Mystery, fragility, trying to add something of the legendary to her status. Things like her make me almost miss the days the Lucians were marching on the colonies. None of this is the Einzelton's fault, of course. They can't control what gets seared upon them. You seem to have misunderstood my soliloquy. It's done. No mas. The beauty and the tragedy of the format. I hope you dispose of it with dignity. I think a private ceremony would be most appropriate. You'd like to hear more? X remnants. 0 remnants. The aftermath of a magnetic charge once you take the field away. The Einzelton magnets are so potent that the erasure is absolute. The X is meant to represent the negative, the complete absence of sound or vision. This was a very conceptual time for storage media, you understand. was a very beautiful time, too. I wouldn't expect a replayer like you to understand. I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzelton is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite. So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? You should speak plainly then. I'll be honest. The thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically... Theoretically, it might be possible. You would have to repolarize, re-remanence processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grader. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Why don't you film it and make a snuff disc out of it? One for the techno-voyeurs. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean.
The vendor's eyes narrow behind his orange lenses.
This is a media store, not the missing persons division. Bother one of the GMs with questions like that. I try. So most of humanity fades into an indistinguishable morass of banality. This colleague, what does it look like? The sock boy. Dialectical-looking glasses, air of advanced virginity.
Back in photo 24, your would-be double gurgles his ascent.
Yes, he came by here. Little communist lost, adrift among the many wonders of the free market. He was dreaming big, I'll give him that. Also dreaming moronic. Your dialectical friend mistook himself for some sort of big money businessman. He wanted the bazaar to import superblock hosiery. Socks to start with, but there was talk of cotton tights, even stockings if the venture took off. No. And to be honest, I wouldn't have wasted the stock. He seemed immune to music. You're joking, of course. He didn't even know what a velodisc was, let alone an Einzelton. At a certain point, I'm just debasing myself. Of course not. I don't sell socks. So is he all right, your man? Or what? So you're also a communist. But you're not that little, or particularly lost, I'd say. I'll be blunt. Are you with a weeping eye? Because they've been especially active here recently. Usually they just let things slide. All the Lucian merchandise, good for everyone. But these days, they're staring right at us, unblinking. Keep them. If things get too hot, I can always slit my wrists with a shard of velodisc before they take me down. My point is, your colleague was asking questions. Now, something's obviously happened, and here you are, also asking questions. Given the current climate, no one wants to answer these questions, least of all, me. I'll tell you what I told your sock friend. Speak to the boatman down by the West docks. He's the one who knows the underground goings-on around here. We're just the vendors. The cool one. Excessive sunglasses, relaxed aura, likely on a boat. No way of confusing him. Wonderful. Now for all our sakes, please say no more. If you want to talk media formats, I'm your man. This other stuff... maybe not. The bazaar is closing up soon. Another day, another cultural molestation.